Right now, a growing need for local food assistance, the ongoing legal problem affecting Second Harvest's funding. Plus, Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s name could still be removed from the Wisconsin ballot, what one court will consider as it listens to his appeal. And having fun with the community, how a local police department is educating residents about life on the job. It's all ahead on News 3 Now at 10. We begin with some breaking news in just the last hour as an American Airlines flight has landed safely now at Dane County Regional Airport after circling a bit due to a mechanical issue. American Flight 5494 was inbound from Washington Reagan National Airport. An airport spokesman here in Madison tells News 3 Now emergency vehicles were staged at the runway ahead of the landing. Again, thankfully, the plane touched down without any incident. FlightAware says Flight 5494 is a Bombardier CRJ 700, a max capacity of 76 passengers. We do not know how many were on board this flight, but again, the plane emergency has been called off and there's been no disruption to other flights or passengers. We do have a crew on the scene. Stick with channel3000.com for the latest on this developing story. And next at 10, a new budget has been proposed for Dane County. There's a nearly 50% decrease in this year's capital plan compared to last, but taxes will go up for the average Madison home through a levy increase. The county's interim executive says she's looking to be responsible with taxpayer dollars while maintaining services at current levels, but there are areas where her office is looking to commit more funding.
We endeavor to strengthen this connection to families by investing in the areas of highest need and fill gaps that exist in our current service.
This proposal totals more than $903 million, a nearly 7% decrease. The operating budget, $813 million. The capital budget, $90 million. Meanwhile, the tax rate, $2.57 per $1,000 of home value on the county portion of your tax, down from $2.73 per $1,000 a year ago. This budget now goes to the county board where they'll deliberate on some of the finer points, and board chair Patrick Miles hopes to pass it by the end of next month. What wasn't in the budget, though? Funding for Dane County's largest food bank. And that's despite them asking for it. But county officials say they didn't include the funding because state law says they can't. Braden Ross joins us now to explain. Braden?
Hi, Eric. Yeah, that's right. Second Harvest says they're still seeing growing need for food assistance. Last year, demand was up 30%. This year, it's already increased by 20%. But their funding isn't keeping up. As pandemic-era federal funding has dried up, Second Harvest turned to Dane County, hoping they could make up for some of it in the 2025 county budget. But interim county executive Jamie Kuhn did not include that funding in her proposed budget. But Dane County officials say it's not because they didn't want to. They say Wisconsin state law prohibits them from directly funding operational costs for nonprofits, but Second Harvest says there may be a way to work around it, and they're hoping the county will do just that.
I know they know how important this is, and I know there's not enough funds to go around for every single request, but we need to share how important this is to have at least some level of funding included in future iterations of the budget for 2025.
Now, the budget approval process still has to go through several more iterations before it finally is approved. And if you'd like to donate to Second Harvest in the meantime, you can find all the information you need online at secondharvestsw.org.
Braden, thank you. The Richland County Board holding a special meeting to address the public's questions after last year's data hack. That meeting will take place next Tuesday at 6 p.m. A discussion will be held with attorney Andy Phillips and the Wisconsin Counties Association about roles and responsibilities in county government. That'll be followed by an open question and answer session with the county citizens. Anyone can ask questions about topics like the cybersecurity incident from last October. The county adds that for the moment, no official action will be taken surrounding any particular topic. The 80-degree temperatures will stick around a couple more days. We hope our dry spell will end soon. Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington has our rain chances over the coming days on the patio. Alex?
Hey, Eric, out here on the patio, all is quiet, all is calm, but by this time tomorrow night, we could be looking at some lightning approaching from the west as a line of thunderstorms, one of several series of weather events that are going to likely bring good rain chances to much of southern Wisconsin. Still warm, 64 degrees outside, 10 o'clock at night. Our normal low temperatures this time of year around 50, normal highs around 70, so we're pretty close still to our normal high temperature for this time of year at course, 10 o'clock at night. Again, we do have overnight low temperatures in the middle to upper 50s, so a mild night, warmer to the west. That's warm air that's going to be moving into southern Wisconsin, again, reinforcing, as Eric was just mentioning, highs back into the 80s as we go further into Thursday, and that's going to be out ahead of that next weather system that brings a good rain chance Thursday night. Scattered possibility, so that's upwards of 40, 50, 60% coverage Thursday night with the cold front coming into the area. And that front may bring a couple stronger storms, especially west of Madison. Gusty winds and hail would be the main threats. Coming up in Maine weather, we're going to track that line of thunderstorms Thursday night, and then we're going to talk about that next batch of rain that comes Sunday, Monday, maybe going on into Tuesday, and just how much total water we can expect over the next few days. It's looking good.
All right. Good to hear, Alex. Thank you. A Wisconsin Court of Appeals has decided to consider Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s ballot case. The court will consider 3 questions when deciding Kennedy's injunction request. It'll see if it matters that ballots with stickers covering names hasn't ever been tested. It will ask if a candidate died, would a sticker be permitted? And the third deals with if clerks have the discretion to not apply any stickers on ballots. Kennedy has to file a memorandum brief by tomorrow morning. The WEC has to respond by Friday. And there's new insight on how Wisconsin voters feel about the election. Both Quinnipiac and AARP releasing fresh polling data today, taken after last week's presidential debate. And let's start with Quinnipiac. In a poll of likely Wisconsin voters, Kamala Harris leads Donald Trump 48-47. Now that one includes third-party candidates. But in a hypothetical two-way race, the vice president also holds a 1-point lead, but it's 49-48. Now, the polled voters think Donald Trump will do a better job with the economy and immigration, and Vice President leads on issues like preserving democracy, abortion, and a crisis that could put the country at great risk. The margin of error here, plus or minus 3 percentage points. And AARP's poll deals with likely voters 50 and older. Donald Trump leads the vice president 47-45 with those who are 50 plus, but she leads overall in the state. And Donald Trump leads by 10 points with those 50-64. The vice president leads by 6 with voters who are 65 and older. The margin of error for voters 50 and older is plus or minus 3.5%.
We know that voters age 50 plus are the largest voting bloc in Wisconsin and in the country. In the 2020 elections, older voters accounted for 55% of Wisconsin's voters, and in the 2022 midterms, they made up 61% of Wisconsin voters.
Well, in the race for the Senate among voters 50 and older, Eric Hovde leads Senator Tammy Baldwin 50-49. Voters 50-64 favor Hovde by 11 points. Senator Baldwin has an 8-point lead among those 65 and older. A former school resource officer in Sun Prairie is admitting to a charge of child enticement. 35-year-old Lamont Crockett pleaded guilty during a hearing today. Back in 2023, Crockett was charged with that and 2 other counts, including sexually assaulting a child. Those charges have been dismissed. A criminal complaint details allegations from someone who says they had a sexual encounter with Crockett when that person was just 16 years old. He said Crockett admitted to having sexual encounters with other children. Crockett will be sentenced next Thursday. At least 25 people are hurt after a hay wagon overturns on a school field trip. This was in Chippewa County. The sheriff's office there says 2 hay wagons being pulled by a tractor rolled over. First responders say they arrived on scene to find at least 30 people injured. 25 were taken to nearby hospitals for treatment.
I spoke with a couple of children, well, several children that are very resilient and very brave. And, you know, it's tough on them too, right? It's a traumatic day for a lot of people.
All of the children have since been reunited with their families. The sheriff's office confirmed there were no fatalities. Well, if you've driven Gammon Road recently, you may have noticed major backups causing delays in travel. It's because of construction, especially during the rush hour. The city of Madison currently has 18 active construction projects. We spoke with Madison's fire and police departments on how this is impacting their ability to respond to calls.
The traffic side of the city is communicating with MPD, and MPD is then communicating with officers to be like, hey, this is the major road construction that's going on. This is where it's going to be happening. Plan for, you know, some of that stuff in advance.
So they kind of get a heads up to whether they start to think about what are the alternate routes to get there. And that's kind of one thing that's nice about our traffic engineering division.
Well, the fire department asks drivers to pull over to the right side and, of course, do your best. Always try to have ample space to pull over, especially on those roadways with plenty of construction. A local police department offering residents a night of community fun. UW-Madison's police department hosting its first community open house tonight. Visitors could go on guided tours of the department. The agency also showcased several of its units, including its canines, mounted patrol, and the lake rescue unit.
Oftentimes, you know, we have kind of this mysterious job where you see an officer with a badge and you know they give out tickets, but there's much more than that, than enforcing laws here for us. It's about creating a community and creating relationships, and that's what gets me excited. It's about inviting people in to get to know who we really are.
The department also offered free food from local food trucks, and attendees also had the chance to win some prizes. A local job center holds an event to connect job seekers with employers. To celebrate Workforce Development Month, the Department of Workforce Development hosted an open house at the Dane County Job Center. The theme for the event is the power of partnership and recognizes the importance of the relationships between workers, employers, and community-based organizations in creating a strong workforce. Attendees had the chance to learn about the employment resources and services being offered by the department.
The center here at the Dane County Job Center, we're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30. If you missed the event today, come in anytime. During the week, have a discussion. Let us know where you're at, what's going on with you, so we can make maybe that appropriate referral to another agency, or if we can take that and head that on for you, or get you connected with a job or resume development.
Other workforce development open houses are being held in different counties throughout the month. A list of those upcoming events can be found on our website, channel3000.com. Coming up, Alex rejoins us to tell us about our chance to rain over the weekend in his complete forecast. And hoping for an economic boost, the anticipated interest rate cut announced today by the Fed. That's next.
Brian Style worked to overturn Roe v. Wade, called it a great victory.
Brian Stiles' victory banned abortion in Wisconsin, and his agenda would ban it nationwide, with surveillance of pregnancies and restricting birth control and fertility treatments. Peter Barca fights to protect our freedoms, not tear them away.
He backs Wisconsin's law enforcement, firefighters, and unions.
And Peter does what's right no matter what party it is.
I'm Peter Barca, and I approve this message.
For 3 years in a row, Chevy has earned more J.D. Power Initial Quality Awards than any other brand. 1, 2, 3. Whether it's a high-tech SUV, the all-electric Equinox EV, or a truck for work or play, Chevy is America's most awarded brand for new vehicle quality. Qualified lessees can get this well-equipped 2025 Equinox LT for around $349 a month. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
They've been rocking audiences for decades. It's Foghat. Performing live November 30th at Ho-Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells.
I just want to make
with special guest, The Empty Pockets. Tickets are on sale now through Ticketmaster. Legendary rock band Foghat. Live in concert November 30th at Ho-Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells. Your odds are better here.
If your windows are leaky and drafty, it's possible they weren't installed properly. Many installers lack proper training, and shoddy installation leaves your home vulnerable to extreme weather. At Next Door & Window, we're reinventing window installation. Our approach ensures your windows are sealed tight and energy efficient. And your windows and doors will be installed by certified experts who treat your home as if it was their own. When you demand tomorrow's comfort, Next delivers. Visit nextwindow.com to learn more.
Phones were made to help us connect, yet somehow they've made us less connected. Which is ironic, don't you think? We try to put our phones down, but we need to pick them up to see the menu. We can't watch something without also watching something else.
Ironic.
Ironic. But look, here's a phone company who wants you to use your phone less.
That's ironic.
Yeah, but in a good way. Let's find us again with Us Mode. U.S. Cellular, built for us.
Traffic jam.
Ugh, and I'm already late.
3 years ago, I had an abortion of a desperately wanted and loved baby. Joan Ballwig wants to ban all abortion, with no exceptions. Not for rape or incest, not to save the mother's life. I know what it's like when women have to make these heartbreaking decisions. The very last person who should have anything to do with it is a politician like Joan Ballwig.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is taking you beyond the barometer. Email your weather-related questions to firstwarn@wisctv.com, and our team of meteorologists will give you the answers on News 3 Now, live at 4. You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Welcome back. The Federal Reserve is slashing its key borrowing rate by a half percentage point amid signs that inflation, which of course has weighed heavily on the U.S. economy in recent years, is cooling. CBS's Jolene Kent is at the Federal Reserve with more on what it means for our wallets.
After months of anticipation, the Federal Reserve today aggressively reduced the cost of borrowing for the first time in 4 years with a half-point rate cut.
Our patient approach over the past year has paid dividends.
The central bank sending rates down from their more than 20-year high. What message are you trying to send American consumers, the American people, with this unusually large rate cut?
I would just say that, the U.S. economy is in a good place, and our decision today is designed to keep it there.
Inflation has cooled off from its peak of more than 9% in 2022 to 2.5% last month, as the jobs market shows signs of weakening. Is the Federal Reserve effectively declaring a decisive victory over inflation and rising prices?
No, we're not. We're not saying mission accomplished or anything like that. But I have to say, though, we're encouraged by the progress that we have made.
The effects of this rate cut will take time to trickle down to consumers. For credit card debt, a half-point reduction will mean $2 off monthly interest payments on a $5,000 balance. Payments on a new 5-year $35,000 car loan will drop by $8 a month. And monthly payments on a $50,000 home equity line would go down by $21.
I may need a new vehicle, but those are definitely considerations that you have to take in mind during these tough times.
This jumbo rate cut is welcome news for Gladys Ospina in California, who wants to update her car and help her brother buy his first home as soon as possible.
So it gives us options in the case of my brother to be able to help him and see him in a better position where he's able to buy his first home.
And an update now to our breaking news off the top of the show. A live look at Dane County Regional Airport, where earlier tonight an American Airlines flight landed safely after circling due to a mechanical issue. American Flight 5494 was nonstop inbound from Washington Reagan National. An airport spokesperson told us that emergency services had been staged at the runway ahead of its landing, which came 26 minutes late. Thankfully, once again, the flight touching down without any incident. The plane emergency called off, and there was no disruption to any other flights or passengers. Medical experts say now is the time to protect yourself as COVID cases are on the rise. Flu season also ramping up. The CDC forecasts this respiratory virus season will be similar to a year ago, which brought more than 20 hospitalizations for every 100,000 people in 1 week at its peak. That remains far worse than pre-pandemic years. Doctors say the best way to protect yourself is by getting vaccinated.
Getting our vaccination numbers up is still an ongoing battle. You are able to get vaccines at the same time.
Now, the COVID-19 vaccine and seasonal flu vaccine are recommended for everyone 6 months of age and older. For RSV, the vaccine is recommended for all adults 75 and older. That vaccine is a one-time dose, so older adults who got the shot last year will not need another one this year. 14 technical colleges in Wisconsin will receive money to expand their oral health workforce programs. Back in January, Governor Tony Evers allocated $20 million for the oral health care workforce initiatives within the technical college system, and the Delta Dental of Wisconsin Foundation is matching up to $2 million of the state's funding. The corporation hopes its grant will introduce students to 2 new career paths, the dental therapy and expanded function dental auxiliary program.
Each of the technical colleges had their own programs and initiatives that they submitted to the state for the proposal that was approved. And each of them are embarking upon this journey at different stages and pieces because each of the programs are unique. So we're right at the beginning. We're really excited to see where this is going to go and know that there's an awesome road ahead for all of us.
And Madison College is among the schools receiving this funding. The MAC Fund Center for Cancer and Blood Disorders at Children's Wisconsin is offering newly FDA-approved therapy to those 12 and older to help with sickle cell disease. The center is currently giving Casgevy to children 12 and older with severe sickle cell disease and thalassemia. The sickle cell disease alters the shapes of red blood cells, generally causing pain in patients, shortens their lifespan, and can even cause strokes in children. Dr. Julie Tolano says this new therapy is a breakthrough for those affected.
Patients with sickle cell disease and thalassemia require frequent blood transfusions. And in most patients who went through this therapy, it either eliminated the need for transfusions or made it much, much less.
And Dr. Tolano says there are several other products being looked at by the FDA that can make life-altering treatments for patients who suffer from chronic illness. The dry conditions may soon come to an end. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington. Alex, we are really hoping for some rain. Just a little bit would help.
Just a little bit. We'll take all the raindrops we can get. And here's something new in the three things that you need to know. It's been a couple weeks since we've had rain. We've seen this warm symbol many days over the course of the past 2 weeks. Look at this for a change. We got stormy and rain symbols in the three things you need to know as early as Thursday night, with the soaking rain potential Sunday going on into Monday, maybe even into Tuesday, but not before a very warm Thursday. 87 again in Madison, 86 in Lone Rock, 88 in Janesville, and 83 in Camp Douglas. Friends out to the west towards the Mississippi River could be looking at some showers and thunderstorms by the time we get a little bit closer to the evening hours Thursday. That's rain chance number one here that we were entering just a couple of days ago, and that front still looks like it's going to make it into southern Wisconsin. And then in this newscast and My Weather Now, we're going to track the other weather system that will be coming Sunday going on into Monday, maybe even lasting into Tuesday. 8 o'clock tomorrow night, Future Track showing some showers and thunderstorms approaching southwestern Wisconsin. It's a broken line of showers and thunderstorms, and this line will have a bit of a weakening trend as it moves off towards the east. Best chances for heavy rainfall and maybe an isolated strong storm or two will be from Madison and points off towards the north and towards the east. Make note as we head towards 3, 4 o'clock, a lot of that is fizzling out. So areas from Madison and points to the east, a lesser of a chance of that heavy rainfall. Best chance if we do get a strong storm or two, that would be gusty winds and maybe some hail for areas west and northwest of Madison. Then we got our next batch of rain coming in as early as Saturday night, not after a high temperature of 84 degrees. Remember, normal highs 70 for this time of year. Even on Sunday, with scattered showers and thunderstorms, high temperatures mild into the middle to upper 70s, and that's an increased amount of water that we're expecting at a 50% coverage. Here's what that may look like. Showers and thunderstorms breaking out Saturday night. Widespread showers and thunderstorms on Sunday. Look at how expansive that green is across all of southern Wisconsin. And then another batch of rain, perhaps Monday night going on into Tuesday, with showers and thunderstorms being widespread. And this is pretty consistent with a lot of our weather models that can go out that far to give us that projection. Projection of rainfall amounts here. We'll be keeping a close eye on this. Hopefully this does not change over the next couple of days. Widespread 1, maybe 1.5 inches, maybe a couple isolated spots getting near 2 inches of rain between tomorrow night's rain, Thursday night's rain, all the way through Tuesday of next week. So recap, got that evening chance Thursday going on into the very beginning of Friday, staying warm through Saturday. Good chances of rain, maybe some thunderstorms Sunday going on into Monday, perhaps into the early part of Tuesday. Then we move into another dry stretch as we go beyond Tuesday. So we need those raindrops, and right now it's looking quite likely.
Alex, thank you. And coming up in sports, some good news for the Packers starting lineup. What the team's head coach had to say about Jordan Love suiting up at practice. Stay with us.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
I'm a two-time Trump voter.
In 2024, I cannot support Donald Trump.
Trump is 100%
responsible for January 6th.
His treatment of women is just disgusting.
Trump called servicemen suckers and losers.
If Trump has a second term,
it will be much worse than the first.
Kamala Harris is a prosecutor.
He's a convicted felon. In 2024,
I will be
proudly voting for Kamala Harris.
Republican Accountability PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Be the scariest house in the block this Halloween at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Drive into summer with a new Honda. Heading out for a day at the beach or a weekend in the mountains. Make an impression with the unmistakable style of the HR-V or turn heads in the sporty Civic. that when you drive a Honda, you're driving with the 2024 Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Value brand. So act now to get an offer you'll love. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or hurry into the Honda Summer Event.
Thousands of our heroes face the difficult choice between keeping their heat and power on or facing homelessness. 21,000 Wisconsin veterans are living below the poverty line. Wisconsin loses 3 veterans to suicide every week. Together, our mission is to provide all struggling Wisconsin veterans with a critical survival safety net. You can make a real difference by providing a donation to the Wisconsin Heat and Housing for Heroes initiative.
Quartz takes a different approach to health insurance. We know every life well lived is a journey, and we're here to light the way at every step. That's why for 40 years, we've been alongside the doctors and hospitals who know what their communities need. Because they're a part of them. Because we're a part of them. There's a fire burning in all of us. Let's ignite it together. Quartz. Find your spark.
He told us who he was.
Should abortion be punished?
There has to be some form of punishment.
Then he showed us.
For 54 years, they were trying to get Roe v. Wade terminated, and I did it, and I'm proud to have done it.
Now Donald Trump wants to go further with plans to restrict birth control, ban abortion nationwide, even monitor women's pregnancies. We know who Donald Trump is. He'll take control. We'll pay the price.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
A welcome sight for Packer fans everywhere. For the first time since injuring his MCL against the Eagles down in Brazil, quarterback Jordan Love returning to the practice field today. During practice, Love was seen throwing bootleg passes, rolling out, wearing a sleeve over his injured left leg. Head coach Matt LaFleur said Love was limited during today's practice. If Love is unable to go this Sunday against Tennessee, Malik Willis would then take the field once again for his second straight start. Green Bay acquired Willis, of course, from Tennessee for a 7th-round pick back in August. The Milwaukee Brewers are NL Central champions, back-to-back division champs. In fact, for the first time since the 1982 World Series team did that. This after the A's beat the Cubs earlier in the day down at Wrigley, and then Milwaukee later walked off Philadelphia on a Jake Bauer single in the bottom of the 9th. Even though the Brewers are now playoff bound, there's still work to be done. Milwaukee still has a shot at the top 2 seeds in the National League, with Philadelphia and the Dodgers just ahead of them. And if they get one of those 2 spots, it would give them a bye in the playoffs. And if you're wondering where Zach is tonight, he is busy working on the next episode of the Wisconsin Huddle right now. This week, former Badger volleyball player, national champion Lauren Barnes is stopping by. You'll be able to catch the next episode later this Friday at 6:30 p.m. right after News 3 Now at 6. And we'll be right back after a short break. Stay with us.
I'm Tammy Baldwin. I approve this message.
We found out our baby had severe fetal abnormalities and that my life was at risk. But Wisconsin Republicans' extreme abortion ban forced us to leave the state to get the care that I needed. It was a nightmare. Eric Hovde pushed to end Roe v. Wade. And in the Senate, Hovde would give Mitch McConnell the majority to ban abortion nationwide. No exceptions for rape, incest, or the health of women like me. What is wrong with these guys?
The Friends of the Middleton Performing Arts Center present Rick Lindy and the Jukebox Legends, a musical tribute to the early roots of rock and roll. Saturday, September 28th. One show only. Tickets available online now.
Democrats say everything's great, but when you're on a fixed income struggling to pay for gas, groceries, or medicine, it doesn't feel great.
Biden-Harris created this mess.
And Tammy Baldwin's been right there with them.
25 years in Washington. What's she done?
Raised taxes.
Added trillions in new debt.
And gave stimulus checks to illegals.
I'm Eric Hovde. I approve this message.
I'd like a stimulus check.
I'd like you to take out the trash.
Act fast! Revamp Fence is running its 60-60-60 sale. Get a $60 Visa gift card plus either 60 months no interest financing or 60% off installation. A lifetime warranty is included. Go online or call us for your free quote today.
Eric Hovde is a multimillionaire California bank CEO, but when it comes to our healthcare, his plans aren't so rich. Hovde says he wants to repeal the Affordable Care Act.
We have to try to defund every aspect of Obamacare,
costing 200,000 Wisconsin families their healthcare. And Hovde supported policies that will cut Social Security and Medicare and raise the Social Security retirement age. A millionaire lifestyle works great for Hovde, but his plans on healthcare are a disaster for us. Win Senate is responsible for the content of this ad.
Hot tub season is here now, and Leisure Concepts has so many hot tubs in our showroom, we can barely move. Tons of new hot tubs. Floor models are on sale, and a powerful 4-seat hot tub is just $59.99. We'll deliver your new hot tub immediately, and we train you so owning and loving your hot tub is a breeze. Check out our huge packed showroom now for a great hot tub at a great price. Leisure Concepts is on the Beltline at the Park Street exit.
Bidenomics is working.
It's not. ABC News proved it with charts.
It was under control
on
during
inflation,
the Trump administration, well below
gas,
$3 a gallon, 35%
and housing.
jump in home prices, folks.
Even CNN admits it.
When it comes to the economy, groceries were less expensive, housing was more affordable when Donald Trump was president.
Yet Harris still says,
Bidenomics is working.
No, it isn't.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
The Final Drive high school football coverage, Fridays at 10. Tonight,
young people are nervous about the 2024 election. Am I young?
Colbert's New with Rachel Maddow, tonight on CBS.
Boy, the lawns are getting crunchy out there. The grass going dormant in some place, leaves falling off. We need some rain.
Yeah, we definitely need some rain. You can't walk out on that grass barefoot at this point in time. But we have plenty of rain chances in the forecast. That's all good news. Line of showers and thunderstorms Thursday night. It'll be on a weakening trend, but bringing some rain chances, good rain chances Sunday and Monday. And that could bring us an inch of rain to southern Wisconsin. We'll take all of it.
Yeah, we need it. All right, Alex, thanks. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10, folks. Have a great night.